put him in jail. Why didn't you? The same way the Wike that is recently exposed to have bought a house of over $2 million in Florida, in the US. Nobody's going to investigate him. And if they did, they're never going to make it public. It is just going to be part of the compromise. River State lost over 1.8 trillion naira mismanaged funds under Were Wike. He should be in jail. Amechi should be in jail. Maybe Tonyeko should be in jail too. Majority of them should be in jail, not in any authority or in any power, but it is Nigeria. You know, the criminals lose. Okay, you just need to choose which of the camps you want to belong to, and then you'll be protected while the country bleeds. Oh, he did say something about the chairman of PDP too, because he also helped him. But now that one want to kill him. That's what he said. Were Wike.
Look, let them Maiyegun continue. Now, for whatever reasons, people who want to be presidential aspirant candidate or what felt that, oh, this guy may not, play according to my own game. Now, unknown to us, we didn't bring out, oh, he must say, no, that's not what we agreed now. We agreed like this. So let's keep to it. And if there's any, what is the reason now you are changing? And that's the kind of person I am. I stood, I did everything. I hired a lawyer, the senior advocate, everything. Down to cover everything. I hired the lawyers. That was sustained Damagu to be there. But who is the Damagu's enemy now? It's me. If there's one man now that I want to kill, is me. But it doesn't matter. But what is important to tell you the kind of character, the kind of person I am. That was what happened when Ali Modi Sharif. Look, let them.
Were Wike. Let me give you a bit of backstory as well. Some of his, his madness. Were Wike had access to a lot of money, being the governor of Ribadu State. Is it the third? Or the third biggest oil producer, oil producing estate in Nigeria, kind of. So they get a lot of money for that. I mean, more than others, kind of. So because of this, Were Wike had access to a lot of money than many of his peers who were governors too, right? So that leverage was what Were Wike was banking on, hoping, right, that if he could use his money, right, to help some of these guys to either retain their positions as governors, as lawmakers. In the process, he is already building a political network. And that is a character of a leader. However, what is the character of those he's been relating with? Were they just collecting his money and telling him whatever he wanted to hear? And when the chips are down, they ended up having to really do like what they call the do you. They do themselves like, no, I can't do what he's asking me to do. And Were Wike started judging their character by that, like, look at that character, look at that character. A very corrupt individual, lawless as well, right? Has enormous wealth. And that's the same thing he's currently having access to in Abuja as we speak. Okay? Like somebody just said now, the day they will open up his own, right? It probably will be dead, before that kind of a thing will happen anyway. So, Were Wike believes that with money, he could get anything. And he's now shocked that his fellow criminal politicians shown their own true colors. And he's like, looking like he's the saint or something. Man of character. Man of character. You are a thief. Thanks to Nigeria, a place where the criminals run the system and therefore provided enough protection for themselves against any real prosecution, against anyone. But we live with a Wike for a while and stop by in Delta. This is, you see, Delta State is considered as by revenue collection as well, right? Delta State is considered as the richest state in Nigeria. They collect a lot of money. Like, it is a state that collects, I mean, under Tinubu now, right? With their supposed increased revenue or something, right? So Delta State collects monthly, they collect as much as 40, 30, 40 billion naira from Nigeria, from Abuja, from the Federation accounts. This is a student of Gereka Primary School in Ugeli local government area in Delta State. How the children have been educated.
Primary school. Wow.
Kingdom. This is a Gareka primary school. From primary 1 down to primary 4. It's unbelievable. And it's unacceptable. In this 2025, we can't get this one. It can't happen. In Uganda, you have to change the narrative now. If not, it's not sweet at all. It's not sweet. You have to cover with all. It's not road. Let these people feel the merriment of the state of the oil. We are the highest oil producing local government in the whole Delta state. The highest, we have the biggest gas plant. How can our children be sitting on the floor? No, nah. Check to look at it and do something. Do something very tangible now for these people. Thank you.
This is Eweka Primary School in Nero. Honestly, I was so surprised when I saw this video, seeing our children, leaders of tomorrow, sitting on the ground from a state that is receiving a huge amount of money, Delta State. Our leaders, because
Because Nigeria is being led by criminals. They are telling their people that everything cannot be done by government. It is such a ridiculous kind of like a system, I have to say. They will steal public fund meant for all these infrastructures. They will loot the money. Then they will tell their people, right, that government can't do everything at once. Development takes time. And some people believe them. So they now expect the thieves to now take a fraction of their loot to go and do charity. You will begin to hear from the victims of this horrible governance tell you that, what about you? Are you not, don't you have money? What have you done for your community? Are you not supposed? Have you ever even done anything for your community? Did you repair the health center? Did you repair any school? What about your old school? What do you call that thing again? Old student association. What about your old former school? Have People are coming together to do things for their community because government can't do everything. Like people defend them that yeah, they can't do everything. Then you ask them, what are they doing with the resources they give to them? And they just tell you that, well, I've got resources. It can't finish everything. And in 2025, to those of us who um, went to school in Nigeria, especially from primary to many of us in the late 80s, 90s, those of you who are older than us who actually schooled in the 80s, 70s, and you could tell the state of some of these schools, even back then, and then compare them to what they have today. Public schools, criminal politicians, who many of them went to all these dilapidated schools when they were growing up. They assumed power, and suddenly government can't do everything. But when you go to the house of a governor, before he became governor, he's living in one house if he had any house at all. He's living in one house and probably driving two cars, one for himself, one for his wife. Suddenly, he needed a bigger place because he's governor now. He needs a country home. He needs a city home. He needs an Abuja guest house. He needs a guest house in another state. He also needs a place to stay abroad. And they choose all these places to fund just one person who was living his life, I believe, like normally before he became governor. And suddenly you go to the houses and you will see hundreds of cars, well, brand new cars. So they are now able to have resources to acquire things in such an excess that it is like a status a symbol for them to show that yes, it's wealthy, while his own people and states remain poor or poorer. No pipe-borne water running in his states. There is no good motorable roads in the countryside. He's got no real medical system that cares for the poorest. Even the not so poorest. There is no educational system, including infrastructure to back it, that could cater, right, adequate enough to cater for possible millions of children who need that education. But they make their priority something else. When it comes to yours, you are so willing to defend them and say you don't expect government to do everything. What else is the government's role? They collect your taxes, don't they? Yeah, they tax you to, to the last penny. Then you don't even have any right to probe or question what they use the money for. They take the money from you. If they can't take enough from you after selling crude oil and all of that, right? They still go borrowing so that you can go sorrowing. Right now, the campaign they are pushing in Nigeria right now is about this their tax law. Tinubu signed that tax law a few months back, remember? And they have been running different campaigns. The simplest ones, like, sorry, I put my phone behind, so I won't even see if you are calling. So let's put that forward. 1 second. Sorry if I missed your calls. They lied to you by telling you that Tinubu said tax law. This won't be the first time I'm saying it. So, you know me, anything where I hear, where I no say, when devil promise you something, pay attention before you commit. It's going to take your life. Okay? So they said that their tax law was to get everybody on board, but it is not to tax the poor. That was easy, right? They said, oh, if you are making 800,000 naira in your business, they won't, if you are collecting 800,000 naira a year as your salary, they won't tax you. However, if you are collecting 810,000 naira, they will tax the 10,000 naira, not your 800,000. And that 10,000 naira, they will take 25% of it. That's the tax, 25%. And they said they are doing so to help you, Neo, because of multiple taxes. This tax, that tax, this. No. You won't be paying local government tax. You won't be paying any other. But they lied to you. Nigeria is oil producing country. And it was supposed to be a country that is built around or developed around its resources that is very much beneficial to our citizens. That is why you don't get too taxed, or you shouldn't be too taxed in Nigeria. Because your resources is to pay for things that you ordinarily pay for. That is what differentiates you from other countries who don't have such resources. If not, you have to pay for everything that government would have. I mean, for government to function, you would need to be taxed, which is what it is all about. Now, they are preaching that they have looted that resources. They have sold it to themselves, shared it among themselves, enough that they have made the proceeds from it so worthless that they barely talk about it anymore. I mean, I used to read it in the newspaper in Nigeria when I was in Nigeria. I used to read it in the newspaper how much money NNPC made last month and how much of that money was remitted to the federation account and how much from that was shared and how much was saved. I used to read that in the newspaper, Punch newspaper, Vanguard. We used to have such. As corrupt as those were, they were still putting out figures, numbers that correlated with some of what they are doing. They were also stinkingly corrupt, don't get me wrong. But what is worse corruption when people hold back the data to tell you about how much they are making from your resources. Rather, they are mining them illegally, stealing them, bunkering here and there, and then they keep going borrowing. And they are telling their people that borrowing is not bad, even if you have money. America has money, but America is the most indebted, this, blah, blah, blah. But this is the country that has no stable electricity supply, right? Just to let you know that if America is broke, you can say, oh yeah, they use their money for this or that, or they use their money in fighting war. What did Nigeria use their money for? Looters looted the money and it ended in private accounts, offshore accounts. So they needed more money. So IMF told them that they would have to tax you to death. First, they've made you realize that your resources is not enough to take care of anything anymore. Who made your resources worthless? Criminals like this, and you see them do it. They're doing it every now and then, using your national assets, selling them as scraps to themselves. Using your resources as a collateral for loans that they don't have any intention of paying back, and of course, probably for frivolous things too. So they brought this tax thing, and it was like easy to deceive the gullibles. Now reality is beginning to set in. When people started hearing that Tifnumbu's tax, this one that you say you don't have work, you are just an artisan. You did not plumbing work you did do. So they said that you would have to tell them filing if you don't want them to take your. Okay, I'm coming to that. Wait, because I really want to break it down the way I understand it, right? Oh, I wanted to take that call. Sorry that I missed your call again. The caller. Right. So from January 2026, right, this tax stuff will go into effect. And according to them, it is to make sure that emphasis on that poor is to make sure that the poor people are not taxed. So you would have to tell them, which means if you have money in your account, hang on, come, let me take this. Yeah. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, ma. How are you?
Hello, sir. Good afternoon. Well done.
Good afternoon.
How are you doing?
Very well. Oh,
How's
yourself?
how's the care and the girls, everyone?
Everyone is fine.
Thank God. Maiyegun, honestly, these people, they want to drive me like crazy. You know why? Because all these, there's some people, even I have so many people around me. The way they talk, the way they do, they say everything like Tinubu is really doing well. This is the first time that the IMF, we pay off all the IMF loans. This is this and that.
Pay the
And
backlog of this.
we do
We have increased